Rio Tinto Corporation. Rio Tinto Group is an Anglo-Australian multinational company that is the world's second-largest metals and mining corporation, behind BHP. The company was founded in 1873 when a group of investors purchased a mine complex on the Rio Tinto, in Huelva, Spain, from the Spanish government. It has grown through a long series of mergers and acquisitions. Although primarily focused on extraction of minerals, Rio Tinto also has significant operations in refining, particularly the refining of bauxite and iron ore. Rio Tinto has joint head offices in London, Global and plc, and Melbourne, Limited, Australia. Rio Tinto's main business is the production of raw materials including copper, iron ore, bauxite, diamonds, uranium and industrial minerals including titanium dioxide, salt, gypsum and borates. Rio Tinto also performs processing on some of these materials, with plants dedicated to processing bauxite into alumina and aluminium, and smelting iron ore into iron. The company also produces other metals and minerals as byproducts from the processing of its main resources, including gold, silver, molybdenum, sulfuric acid, nickel, potash, lead and zinc. Rio Tinto controls gross assets of $81 billion in value across the globe, with main concentrations in Australia, 35%, Canada, 34%, Europe, 13%, and the United States, 11%, and smaller holdings in South America, 3%, Africa, 3%, and Indonesia, 1%. Iron ore, Rio Tinto Iron Ore. The Australian operations of Rio Tinto Iron Ore, RTIO, comprises an integrated iron ore operations in the Pilbara, Western Australia. The Pilbara iron ore operations include 16 iron ore mines, 4 independent port terminals, a 1,700-kilometer rail network and related infrastructure. The corporation also has had a majority stake in Iron Ore Company of Canada since its 2000 hostile takeover of North Limited. Copper and byproducts, Rio Tinto Copper. Copper was one of Rio Tinto's main products from its earliest days operating at the Rio Tinto complex of mines in Spain. Since that time, the company has divested itself from its original Spanish mines, and grown its copper mining capacity through acquisitions of major copper resources around the world. The copper group's main active mining interests are Oyu Tolgoi mine in Mongolia, Kennecott Utah Copper in the United States, and Minera Escondida in Chile. Most of these mines are joint ventures with other major mining companies, with Rio Tinto's ownership ranging from 30% to 80%, only Kennecott is wholly owned. Operations typically include mining of ore through to production of 99.99% purified copper, including extraction of economically valuable byproducts. Together, Rio Tinto's share of copper production at its mines totaled nearly 700,000 tons, making the company the fourth largest copper producer in the world. Rio Tinto Copper continues to seek new opportunities for expansion, with major exploration activities at the Resolution Copper Project in the United States, Winu in Australia, and Oyu Tolgoi underground mine in Mongolia. In addition, the company is seeking to become a major producer of nickel, with exploration projects currently underway in the United States and Indonesia. Although not the primary focus of Rio Tinto Copper's operations, several economically valuable byproducts are produced during the refining of copper or into purified copper. Gold, silver, molybdenum, and sulfuric acid are all removed from copper or during processing. Due to the scale of Rio Tinto's copper mining and processing facilities, the company is also a leading producer of these materials, which drive substantial revenues to the company. Sales of copper generated 8% of the company's 2008 revenues, and copper and byproduct operations accounted for 16% of underlying earnings. Rio Tinto exclusively provided the metal to produce the 4,700 gold, silver, and bronze medals at the London 2012 Olympic and Paralympic Games. This was the second time Rio Tinto had done so for Olympic medals, having previously provided the medals for the Salt Lake City 2002 Winter Olympics. Together, Rio Tinto's share of copper production at its mines totaled nearly 700,000 tons, making the company the fourth largest copper producer in the world. Rio Tinto also owns the naming rights to Rio Tinto Stadium located in nearby Sandy, Utah, and the home of the Major League Soccer team, Real Salt Lake. Aluminium. Rio Tinto consolidated its aluminium-related businesses into its aluminium product group, originally named Rio Tinto Alcan, formed in late 2007, when Rio Tinto purchased the Canadian company Alcan for $38.1 billion. Combined with Rio Tinto's existing aluminium-related assets, the new aluminium division vaulted to the world #1 producer of bauxite, alumina, and aluminium. Aluminium division kept key leadership from Alcan, and the company's headquarters remain in Montreal. Rio Tinto divides its aluminium operations into 3 main areas: bauxite, alumina, and primary metal. The bauxite and alumina unit mines raw bauxite from locations in Australia, Brazil, and Africa. The unit that then refines the bauxite into alumina at refineries located in Australia, Brazil, Canada, and France. The primary metal business unit's operations consist of smelting aluminium from alumina, with smelters located in 11 countries around the world. The primary metal group also operates several power plants to support the energy-intensive smelting process. The aluminium division has interests in 7 bauxite mines and deposits, 6 alumina refineries and 6 specialty alumina plants, 26 aluminium smelters, 13 power plants and 120 facilities for the manufacture of specialty products. The acquisition of Alcan operations in 2007 substantially increased Rio Tinto's asset base, revenues and profits. In 2008, 41% of company revenues and 10% of underlying earnings were attributable to the aluminium division. Uranium. Rio Tinto Energy. Rio Tinto Energy is a business group of Rio Tinto dedicated to the mining and sale of uranium. Rio Tinto's uranium operations are located at 2 mines, the Ranger Uranium Mine of Energy Resources of Australia and the Rossing Uranium Mine in Namibia. The company is the 3rd largest producer of uranium in the world. According to Rio Tinto's website, the company institutes strict controls and contractual limitations on uranium exports, limiting uses to peaceful, non-explosive uses only. Such controls are intended to limit use of the company's uranium production to use as fuel for nuclear power plants only, and not for use in the production of nuclear weapons. Rio Tinto Energy was responsible for 12% of revenues and 18% of underlying earnings in 2008. Diamonds. Rio Tinto Diamonds. Rio Tinto Diamonds operates 3 diamond mines, the Argyle Diamond Mine in Western Australia, 100% ownership, the Diavik Diamond Mine in the Northwest Territories of Canada, 60% ownership, and the Murawa Diamond Mine located in Zimbabwe, 78% ownership. Together, these 3 mines produce 20% of the world's annual production of rough diamonds, making Rio Tinto the world's 3rd largest producer of mined diamonds. The diamond business unit's most advanced exploration project is the Falcon project in Saskatchewan, Canada, where Rio Tinto owns 60% of the project in a joint venture with Star Diamond Corporation. Rio Tinto Diamonds generated 1% of revenues and earnings for Rio Tinto in 2008. Industrial Minerals. Rio Tinto Minerals. Rio Tinto Minerals is a diverse business group with mining and processing interest in borates, salt and gypsum. Rio Tinto Borax, with operations in California, supplies nearly 1/3 of the world's annual demand for refined borates. The Minerals Group is also majority owner of Dampier Salt, which produces over 9 million tons of salt and 1.5 million tons of gypsum annually from its 3 facilities in northwest Australia. Rio Tinto Minerals accounted for 6% of company revenues and contributed 3% to earnings in 2008. On January 31, 2010, the management of U.S. Borax locked out its hourly workforce, replacing the workers with non-union workers and managers from other Rio Tinto operations. The 560 International Longshore and Warehouse Union Local 30 members immediately began a fireside vigil that garnered national and international labor attention. ILWU filed several unfair labor practices against the company, including an illegal lockout claim. Iron products and titanium. Rio Tinto Iron and Titanium. Titanium dioxide is mined at 3 locations in Canada, South Africa, and Madagascar, and refined at QIT Fair et Titani's Canadian facilities. A media report in October 2013 revealed that the corporation plans to establish a fully automated railroad system for the transportation of iron ore across the Australian outback by 2015, thereby replacing the corporation's train drivers. The United Kingdom-based transport historian Christian Woolmer stated at the same time that the train drivers are most likely the highest-paid members of the occupation in the world at that time. As part of an overall strategy to increase profit margins, the corporation is spending $518 million on the project. Development of autonomous technologies. See also, Hamersley and Robe River Railway Pilbara Iron. Rio Tinto is a global leader in the development of autonomous technologies for use in the mining sector. As of 2018, Rio Tinto's fleet of 80 autonomous Komatsu vehicles had moved over 1 billion tons of ore and waste material in Western Australia's Pilbara region. Furthermore, in late 2017 Rio Tinto announced funding for their Koodaideri mine in Western Australia, which Rio Tinto had dubbed their intelligent mine.